Bienvenido, damas y caballeros. Welcome back to Freeform Radio on that Freeform network. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook and X at Freeform Network. Remember, send those questions as well, ffnquestions at gmail.com. It's been a while since we got any regular ones. But again, for Freeform Radio, my name is Daniel. Got us today, Andy.
So good, Andy. Want to thank you guys for joining us, and we had a spring ahead today, so I think everybody's internal body clock is maybe a little out of whack.
Yeah, a little bit. And we got Noel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us again. Trying to stay awake here. Yeah, like Andy said, with this spring forward thing, I'm just feeling a little sluggish today.
For sure. So let's get the show rocking. Andy, start us off on this install for your washer and dryer. You kind of mentioned this at work. I guess your old one was giving you some hassles. Fill us in on what's going on, man.
Yeah, my wife's been wanting front load washers for a while, and we kind of were looking at the models that we wanted, and I recommended the one that we purchased, that we got, and I found them on Marketplace because I'm not paying full retail price. Uh, so we got them a couple weeks ago. I've had them in the garage. I had some help come in yesterday, and the issue was that washer is just a heavy son of a bitch. So we got getting the old stuff's easy, right? So we got that going, and then uh, when we were disconnecting the old dryer, somehow we fucked up the hose line and the fitting, and then we noticed on the new dryer it had a different gas line size. So normally that one was like 3/8, and the hose was for a 1/2 inch connection. So we tried to take off the old adapter. It had this elbow. It was like a weird setup. So I had to go on top of it. We messed up the fucking gas line, which I bought at Menards for like on clearance years ago. It was like $5. And then my father-in-law was like, "Oh, I'll just run to Home Depot, which is literally like 3 minutes away on a drive." And I'm like, "He'll be back like in a half hour, right?" And then, dude, he was gone for like an hour and a half. And I call him like after an hour. I'm like, "Everything all right?" And he's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "I can't find the unions and fittings to make this shit work, and they don't have no like 3/8 1/2 inch connection hoses." He's like, "They have this kit with a bunch of fittings. I think we can make it work." I'm like, "Yeah, just at this point, I'm like, whatever. I just want to get this done." And he got it, and then I had a bunch of fittings, and yeah, had everything to make it work. And uh, then the other hard part was getting that fucking washer in there from the garage. Holy shit, man! It was everything looked like it could fit, but where we I think miscalculated was on the vent and the lit hose on the back. Uh, we can't like push it all the way we can to still have some free flow out to the lint, where the air comes out of the dryer. So that dryer was sticking out a little bit more than the washer. We were able to use the existing hoses on the washer. So I was like, we had to remove the door, obviously, right? So then I'm like, I don't know if this door is gonna close the way this is sticking out. So we had to pull all that shit back out. I'm like, let's cut that hose for the lint, whatever in the back. Let's cut it up as much as we can and let's tighten it. And it's already like a tight fucking fit back there. And yeah, so we were fucking around with it for like another 40 minutes, and then we could be able to get another inch or two, and then I'm like, I think that should work. And yeah, once we got everything, the door fucking closed, and then I had some plans. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get ready. And then this morning, with time change, I woke up super early. I was doing some stuff. I'm like, let me start cleaning the washer and all this other crap. And I did this clean cycle through those dishwashing tabs. And so it's a front loader, It has that big seal in the front, and it has like this steam system and all this crap. I noticed that on the bottom of the seal, there's like a little bit of a puddle of water. So I cleaned the whole interior of that seal, and then I noticed there was like four drain holes on the bottom. I dabbed all that up with a towel, and I started pulling gunk out of there. It was like nasty, man. And I was reading up like, fuck, hopefully this isn't a problem. But I think I got a lot of gunk, so water should just flow through there. A big chunk of the water went through, right? But it was just like a little bit just like hanging there. So I cleaned it all up and pulled a lot of gunk out. And then I noticed at the back of the ring, there was like a lot of like pennies and dimes stuck in between the cracks. So I'm like, how the hell do I? I'm like, I'm gonna have to get some tweezers, some pliers, pull all that shit out. But everything worked how it's supposed to. It drained fine. Just the only two things I saw, and I'm like, that's easy shit to deal with in the dryer. I just turned it on, let it run for a little bit, it got hot, and checked all that, and everything looked fine.
So I guess I misunderstood. I thought your other ones were giving you problems, and that's why
Nah,
you were
I
trying
just
to
wanted to
buy
upgrade.
new ones. To me, you just wanted to get new ones, but your other ones were perfectly fine.
But not fine. The washer is an old one with that auger in the middle, and that thing is it started dancing. So it was like it's unbalanced, and I balanced the shit out of it and everything. And it would move, it would shake. I'm like, it's
Okay.
just old. I'm like, this thing's old. Like, I don't like. It was a really basic washer from like I think it was from Menards. I looked it up. I only seen that brand at Menards. Just had like normal and then two water and then like it was just basic. It was a real basic. This thing, the new ones that I got or whatever the used ones I found on the marketplace has Wi-Fi and you can control it with an app, delay start. It has just every fucking bell and whistle. And yeah, I mean it has a light for a washer. Like I was like, what the fuck? And then it's still under warranty. Um so I gotta register that and then we'll see how it goes, man. I'm like nervous because uh it looked great. I mean, I saw it's soapy water, it was spinning, it was real quiet. I was nervous because that fucker was heavy when we were loading it from that old house. Because the guy I bought it from, he bought a townhouse on foreclosure. He was fixing it up and he was gonna rent it out. And he's like, obviously, like, he's like, I don't want renters fucking this up. Like, and then if they fuck it up, I'm gonna have to replace both of them because they're gonna expect something equivalent to what they had before. So he had like a basic washer in the garage when we picked it up, and I got those for like the set for like $500, and these things retail a set like almost 2 grand.
Right. Yeah, I know some of those, like you mentioned, those smart ones. When we moved into the house, that's the kind they had here, Maytags. So I hooked it up to the app, but I noticed it was a little too much. I didn't need it to be that
Yeah,
smart, so I dummied it down and I disconnected all that stuff. And now we just use it as a normal washer. But yeah, I've never had a side loader one because I've heard of a ton of issues with those. Like you said, that seal and with the gunk in it. So it sounds like you did some research and you said this one cleans up slightly different
it has a
from normal
steam.
ones.
Yeah, it has
So
a
yeah,
steam
fill us in
option.
on what, yeah.
It just has a steam option, and it dries it up to prevent the mold. But I cleaned it right now. I mean, there was just a little bit of stuff. Not, it was just dirt, like cotton and hair and
It
shit
might
that
be
you
just because
normally
it's
get.
the first run and maybe after that it'll run
Yeah,
like it's supposed to.
as I said, my wife wanted these. She swears 'cause her parents had one, and I I was just like, all right, so let's just get it and let's see what happens. And I not that it wasn't a lot of money. It was within like a price range. I think we can make it work, and they're only like I think like 3 years old. I saw the manufacturing date on there. They're not that old, so um, we'll see how it goes, man. I don't know. But did the whole part where I was worried about, like, yeah, it's getting them installing them, and I was just trying to make sure I don't like to modify shit too much, and so we can go from there. And like I said, it's something that should have taken us an hour. Where everything was just apples to apples. Took like fucking 4 hours, and a big part is the hose. So let us know if you guys have those issues. That's my whole thing with these things. Is just when you buy new shit, like making it work to the existing thing that you currently have in your house. Uh, Something else, real quick, for all those college football fans out there. Lou Holtz passed away as the time of this recording earlier in the week. He was in hospice care for a while. It wasn't in good health. And he's like, for you don't know who he is, he's a college football coach. He coached in the NFL, I think, 1 year, and then he went back to college. He won a national championship in 1988 with Notre Dame. He has 100 wins at Notre Dame. He's like in the top five winningest coach for Notre Dame history. Just revered by the Notre Dame community. Well respected in college football. A lot of people pay tribute to him. He was a great motivator, a great coach, and yeah. So I think Marcus Freeman, the current Notre Dame coach, made some comments. President Trump made comments. The SEC commissioner made comments. The only guy that was kind of a dick was Keith Olbermann. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He used to be on ESPN. He's does a lot of political stuff. He used to be on like MSNBC and NBC, stuff like that, and he called him a scumbag.
Damn.
I don't know why people on the internet like really started shitting on him because no one's ever really said a bad word about him. I mean, I don't know. Everybody just said really nice things about him. There was never really. I think the most controversial thing he did was endorse President Trump. Like, and I think uh, that's what happened. And but a lot of people.
Go ahead.
But
I was just gonna ask this guy that was talking shit about him. Did he talk shit about him while he was alive, or was it just something like now that he's dead, I'm gonna put out his dirty
I don't
laundry?
know, dude. I mean, Keith Olbermann, he was a staple on ESPN, and he went to do political stuff, and then he went to do political commentary. He got let go or fired. Then he was doing stuff on NBC, and then the last time Trump was elected, he was doing this weird podcast, and I don't know, dude. He just like he went he's just a different mindset. And now I don't know if it's like for clicks. Maybe it was for clicks. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, he just started shitting on him. And dude, like I said, when people pass away, there's people that come out and I don't agree. They say what they thought of the person or whatever. But dude, if you look at everybody in general, it was just. Yeah, I had nice things to say about him. He was well respected. He was a God-fearing man. He motivated young men, encouraged them to go finish school. Like, not like when like he was paying kids off or like, you don't hear none of that. It was just, well, and then this he's like, he's a legendary scumbag. And I'm just like, I read the thing. I'm like, is this for real? Because that's another thing now in today's internet and Twitter and social media. Like, is this shit for real? And yeah, it looks like it's for real because people came out firing, just blasting them. And
Damn.
so like I said, when like Hogan passed away, we all know Hogan was and the character, and we know he embellished, stuff like that. But some people came out and just said like, he was a bad guy or whatever, business wise, right? But never heard anything like that from Lou Holtz. So rest in peace, and just legendary and well respected man. And yeah, I mean, it was a sad day for the Notre Dame community. It's
Yeah, I
a
actually heard about this one as well. I saw it on the news and I thought about you. I'm like, I know Andy is a Notre Dame fan. We didn't really talk about it, but yeah, he seemed like a Papa coach, kind of like the Bears, so like an old school coach
yeah,
kind of guy.
it's like
So
He was a small man, real thin, but he motivated a lot of young people, a lot of young men to do incredible things and on and off the field. And he was a family man. His kid coaches in whatever it's called, USFL, XFL, UFL, whatever, whatever it became. His son coaches there, and he won a couple of championships in that league. So yeah, I mean, it's great to see him. Not great, but he was sick for a while. Looks like I know they put him in hospice care about a month ago, and then there was reports trickling out that he passed away once, but nobody really said nothing. But the family released something, and that's how they knew it was official. But yeah, let's lighten it up, man. Let's go to Noel. He saw something that I want to check it out. I don't know if Disney is cranking out these Predator movies, but I haven't heard really good things about the last two. I see a lot of commercials for Badlands. What's up with it? Do you highly recommend it, Noel?
Uh, whether I highly recommend it's hard to say. I do recommend it for those that like Predator in general. Um, it's more actually it's more catered to the casuals, I would say. But if you do like Predator like a lot, yeah, this is you're probably gonna like it. It's just it's not like the first one. So my favorite was the first one with Arnold,
Yeah.
and that's just it felt more grounded, more gritty, more real. And I even liked the one before this, the Prey one. That one felt like it was coming back to like a little
Was
more
that a show
grittiness.
or a movie?
That was a Hulu movie. So it was a
Okay.
movie on Hulu. Native Americans in like I think pre-Columbus, possibly.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, Predator Badlands. It doesn't take place on Earth. It actually takes place on like a very distant planet that's known for having tons of like ridiculous creatures that live there. It's like the dinosaur era almost. So the Yachua. They are the Yautja, I think they're called, the predator species. They're known for hunting and they're known for being well, predators like the apex. And so this young, you know, member here, his name is Deck. He's trying to prove himself to his family, and he's the youngest of his family. So they kind of look at him like the runt, like the weakling. And in that species, like the weak are killed or ostracized or kind of just sent away to die. And so his father essentially disowns him, and his brother saves his life and gives him an opportunity to prove himself. And without giving spoilers, um, he ends up going to this planet and he meets a. You've probably already seen from the trailer. He meets one of the synths from the Alien universe, and so one of these synths, they look human and everything. They speak like a normal person, but they're obviously synthetic humanoid. You know, they're essentially like androids, but even more advanced than that, like Data 2.0 kind of thing.
Oh man.
Um, Got a little
Right.
Star Trek reference in there, you know?
Uh-huh.
No, Data's not my favorite Star Trek character.
Well, this person's actually interesting. Thea, she has a little personality to her. I was a little surprised about that because I figured it was going to be more like just like not stoic, but just personality-less. Like there's just no, they're just about the logic, about, you know, getting the mission complete. But this one was had a little bit like personality to her, and she balanced out Deck pretty well because Deck was like the straight man and she was more the comedic. Not that she's telling jokes, but she, like I said, has more personality. So Deck is just trying to get the mission done. He's trying to kill one of the biggest creatures on this planet that's like renowned. Like people know it like throughout his species, throughout the Yachua. And he tries to kill this creature. I don't want to spoil it, but there's more to it. I would say it's worth watching. It's got a 7.2 right now, 127,000 votes, so that's pretty solid. It's probably gonna stick around the sevens. 71 on Metascore, about less than 2 hours, hour 47. And yeah, I would say it's worth it. It's entertaining for sure, at the very least, a popcorn flick. Um, it's definitely catered more towards the casuals. When I was telling my coworker about this, he had only seen the more recent Predator movies, not the originals, and he really liked the Badlands. And so I was like, okay, I think it's probably meant for this newer modern audience. And so I kind of waited a little bit to watch it, but when I did finally end up seeing it, I wasn't disappointed really. It was cool. I liked it. It's a lot of action. And what's interesting about this character, Deck, he doesn't have all the same equipment that the other members of his species have. Like the predator from the first one with Arnold, he has this like night vision. He has like on his shoulder pad, he has like this like laser beam that shoots, and he has all sorts of tech, right? Well, this one he does have some cool stuff. It's like a sword made out of metal that has like a uh almost like a laser towards the edge. So the edge of the blade is like a red colored like laser thing. So he could slice through enemies super easy. He has like a really high-tech bow. He's got a few things with him, but nothing like the other ones, which I think you earn over time. You start earning more gear, the more you bring back, your hunts or whatever, your prey, the more items that you get, and it's almost like a tier system. You kind of like level up throughout the species, not like a video game, but you more like your hierarchy. So the more you kill, the more you're respected, the more items you get. And so this one, like I said, he's the youngest. He's still trying to learn the ropes. He's still very novice, makes a lot of mistakes, gets caught in certain traps. Doesn't have all the gear he would need, but he makes it work, and he has like a tenacity to prove everybody wrong because they essentially want to kill him. They essentially want to ostracize him. So he has no other choice but to get this job done. Otherwise, he has nowhere to go. He has no home.
Let me
So,
let
uh,
me ask you, is there a lot of dialogue? Is this guy talking? I see a lot of the images of him and he looks more humanoid than, like you mentioned, the typical predators.
yeah, yeah, he actually does talk. And they make it work in the beginning of the film with the synth. She's like, "Yeah, we have this thing that like I can program it so I understand you and you understand me." So they're able to speak in their own languages, but it's just kind of the subtitles come up and all that. So he does talk and he communicates with her, and they have a little banter, a little back and forth, but he does have dialogue for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I keep seeing this on whatever it is, Hulu or whatever, and it looks interesting. I haven't gotten around to watching it just because the Predator kind of looks a little weird. He doesn't look like a badass Predator. Kind of like Noel was mentioning, like he doesn't have like all his gear. He almost looks like a Braveheart Predator, like he's
Make them
old
Native
school.
American or something.
And like he just looks like normal gear, kind of like,
Not all jacked and with
yeah,
guns and armor.
exactly. Yeah. He doesn't look space age predator.
And I can see
I
that.
agree.
Like, yeah, like I mean, with the brothers, they got all this armor and mask and lasers and uh, yeah. So I kind of see that. Yeah, like I think this Balance has had a lot of trailers and commercials on social media and TV. So yeah, like I said, when I think of Predator, I think of two things: the Predator movies, and then the Predator versus Alien comics that I remember seeing a lot in the '90s. And then for some reason, I'm thinking of another movie when I think of this, Bloodshot. And I saw they made that into a movie a while back with uh, what's his name from Fast and Furious, the bald one. Uh,
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel made a movie about it, and I seen it. I'm like, I don't know, if, like I want to see it just to because I feel like it's bad. Like it's gonna have like a Predator vibe because they've been cranking out ever since the merger. They've been cranking out Predator movies. Didn't they make one with like Olivia Munn, and then they made the one before this one, and then this one, and I thought they made a show or whatever, but it's a Hulu movie. Yeah, I think it was kind of successful, so they might you're probably gonna see more of them, and who knows how well they're gonna be.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The look of the Badlands version of I think I keep mispronouncing it, Yautja or something like that. Um, he doesn't look very intimidating compared to like the Predator from the first one, or even the one from Prey, the Hulu one. They
Yeah.
they look like imposing, like threatening. And don't get me wrong, this guy does look pretty like weird, but again, he is the younger version of their species, so think of it like a teenager. Think of it like he's like 17. It's a coming of age story almost for the predator species. And so yeah, I would give it like pretty much what it has here, like a 7.3, 7.5, something like that. It was definitely worth watching. I plan to buy this eventually, but I'm gonna buy it on sale, so that'll tell you what I think about it. Um, and it is directed by the same guy that did Prey and the same guy that did the animated one, the Predator Killer of Killers.
What?
So
There's an animated one?
yeah, it came out
Yeah.
this 2025.
It looks pretty
Like a
cool.
full animated movie?
Hour and 25, yeah.
Damn, I
Okay.
want to see that.
Yeah, it says three of the fiercest warriors in human history become prey to the ultimate killer of killers. That's what it says. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
Disney's
mean,
cranking it out.
for sure, dude. Dan Trachtenberg. I don't know if he's related to that woman, the actress that just passed away recently.
Harriet the Spy?
Yeah, man. What is it? Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's one of the movies I've been watching recently. Another one I watched also, Dracula 2026. It came out this year, but I believe it was released earlier in other locations. Um, and this one, so it's called Dracula: A Love Tale, but I think they changed it to be called just Dracula in some spaces. Essentially, it's a 15th century prince. He denounces God after he loses the love of his life, his wife, and so he inherits this eternal curse, the I guess the curse of being a vampire or Dracula, of never dying. And he becomes Dracula. He's condemned to wander for centuries. But despite that curse that he's received, he tries to defy it, and he tries to find the little bit of hope he has left in finding his love. He hopes that she'll reincarnate his wife, and so he lives only for that purpose. He expands his reach, right? He has his minions, his followers, if you could say, like a cult almost, and they spread throughout the world to try to find the reincarnation of his dead wife. And so it is in a way a love story, but also it has supernatural fantasy, supernatural horror elements. Definitely good vampire gothic horror. It's also combining Bram Stoker's Dracula and Nosferatu, the what's his name? Count. So Count, I think Doku and um the other one from Nosferatu. It's escaping right now, but it's a really interesting movie. I think it was good in terms of being a horror fan, a fan of Dracula, a fan of vampires. I really enjoyed it, man. I think you guys might like it. I think it's worth a shot. It's a little on the longer end, 2 hours, 9 minutes, and the actors that are in it are pretty well known. It has Christoph Waltz. It does have some younger actors that are up and coming, Caleb Landry Jones, and a few newcomers as well. But ultimately, interesting movie, definitely well designed, and it does have some horror elements to it where it gets pretty creepy and pretty dark, and it's definitely more well designed in terms of the makeup than it was for the Nosferatu remake from last year. So again, I do recommend it if you guys like vampires and Dracula.
I had not heard about this one, so I just Googled it, and yeah, I've never seen this because I don't got Prime, so I didn't even see this being advertised too much. But in some of these images, it actually shows Keanu Reeves as Dracula.
that's an old
Uh,
one.
well, it says here Dracula 2025, and then it has Keanu Reeves in it. So I don't know if it's fake, or I presume it's fake because I don't see him in the cast listing. But going back to the image from the Prime, it looks cool. My wife is a big vampire movie watcher. I forget which is the last one I brought up that we watched together. But yeah, it looks interesting. I don't have Prime, so I might have to see if I can check this out some other way
Have
and
you
watch
guys
this
seen
one.
Underworld then? Speaking of vampires,
No, is that a while ago or when did that come out?
it's a trilogy. I think the early 2000s.
Okay.
They
No, I
fight
just
the
Kate
Lycans.
Beckinsale.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the
I never
Lycans,
watched
which
them,
is
but yeah.
werewolves.
Yep.
are you bringing it up because it's
It's
dumb, or you're
vampires.
bringing it up because it's good?
It's I'm bringing it up because your wife
Uh,
likes vampires. Maybe she'll like
No,
that.
but you guys were laughing the whole time,
But
so I'm like,
it's just
is this a
like
good watch, or am I just gonna
early
waste my
2000. I
time?
haven't
Nah,
seen it like in 20
I
years, but
I
I
don't think
remember
you'd
it's a
like it.
trilogy. So I think the first one's good. The other two, I really don't. I think she didn't appear in the second one, and then
Okay.
she appeared in the third one.
I will say it's very action heavy too. So if you
Yeah.
do like maybe like Devil May Cry, but a female, kind of like that.
And these are
Okay.
British vampires too.
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
it's like the
Yeah.
female Blade kind of.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Okay. That might be kind of cool. That might be kind of cool.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Let's switch it over to you, Daniel. And so it says something here, LBJ 2016. I'm guessing that's a documentary about what's his name? Um,
You got it. Almost.
I am
That's
blanking. It's a president, right? Lyndon B.
yeah.
Johnson. Lyndon B.
Lyndon B.
Johnson.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know why sometimes I go on in these kicks where JFK assassinations, but actually the one who spun this was Alana because we watched the other Lyndon Johnson movie. I forget what the name of that one is. Um, and that one was really good with Bryan Cranston, the guy from Breaking Bad. That one
Hmm.
was pretty good. And she just liked his mannerisms, old school Texan, kind of just talks what you kind of thinking, almost like a Trump-esque kind of character. He kind of speaks his mind. I don't know if you guys know, but he had the funny thing of having meetings while taking a shit. So if he had to use the bathroom and he's having a meeting, he would not stop the meeting.
Yeah.
He would move everybody close to the bathroom so he can continue the meeting while he's using the bathroom. And so it was just a really funny mannerism from the other movie, and they showed it in this one too. But yeah, no, Lyndon Johnson. This one's portrayed by Woody Harrelson. He does a good job, man. I don't give Woody Harrelson too much credit. He doesn't do a great job, in my opinion, in some of his movies. But this one, I thought he did pretty good. It was directed by the late Rob Reiner. He's directed some really good ones, and he directed really well on this one, man. Kind of shows more the early stuff before he took the presidency, and where the other one with Bryan Cranston shows a lot of the pre-assassination as well as some of the post. This one doesn't really show too much post-assassination. It just shows the stuff leading up to it, and then it shows the State of the Union after the assassination. But really well put together. I don't think you're as much of a fanatic with JFK as me, Andy. But have you seen this one or?
No, I've seen it. I know about LBJ, the whole Kennedy thing. I haven't seen. I know they made the Cranston and I was gonna say Woody made one. I think in the last decade or something. But it wasn't highly reviewed. So yeah, LBJ was a character. The whole having meetings while taking a shit. They pay homage to that in King of the Hill, where Strickland they're having a meeting, and then he just like, let's go have a meeting. And just go into the bathroom, and the whole office is outside, and he's telling Hank like, Hank, I need you to do this, and he's dropping a deuce. So I'm like, yeah, that's LBJ Amish because they're from Texas and all that. But I know he was I think he was a congressman, right, before becoming president or vice president, and he does he was very well in the Texas Democratic politics, and he knew a lot of shady people. But he was known as he made a lot of he was a wheeler and dealer. He made a lot of deals to get what he needed, and somehow he always came out on top and down to with Kennedy because I think he criticized Kennedy a lot, if I remember correctly, early on, and then next thing you know, he's his VP because they're like, you need somebody from the South, and somebody they cut a deal, and and yeah, and then there's a lot of conspiracies think that he was involved in killing of JFK, uh, and yeah, I mean he was never elected. He became president, and then he did his term, and he's like, I'm not coming back. I'm not running again. And I think that was like part of the deal. People think that was a part of the deal. Is like you're not gonna run for election, or he wasn't really doing great in the polls either. If you're really into Nick Kennedy Dan, the other biopic movie I recommend, where he's kind of involved a little bit, is Nixon, directed by Oliver Stone. That's a
Mm,
bit of a long movie, but it's a really great movie. I'll give you this: Oliver Stone does really great movies about
right.
presidents. So he did JFK, about the assassination. He did Nixon. He did W. He did those three movies are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen W and JFK. I've never seen Nixon, so I might have to watch that one next, or at least take a peek at it. But yeah, like you mentioned, Andy, yeah, he was the majority Senate leader before he became vice president, and pretty good docudrama of his the whole assassination and him taking over. That one was a good one. The other one that I watched that's an older movie, man, came out in 1987, Andy, La Bamba, man. It's been a while since I've seen this one.
Richie.
Yeah, I've seen it a few half dozen times in my lifetime. But yeah, me and the wifey watched this
An
last night.
HD
Uh,
remastered.
I don't know. It didn't look terrible. So I want to say yes, but it was whatever Hulu was broadcasting.
Mm,
But yeah, man, pretty good little mini documentary of Richie Valens uh, going through becoming famous, struggling, growing up in Cali and just dealing with just being poor, man. And he hooks up with this girl Donna, and he calls her rich like three or four times, and only rich just because she has a house and her family has a car and stuff like that. And these were things that he just didn't have because he grew up poor. So yeah, man, really cool story. It shows famously Bob, his brother, and how he kind of just always finds a way to mess something
the
up.
family
And
screw up. Yeah,
yeah, the black sheep of the family.
yeah,
And no matter what happens, good or bad to Bob, he's never like the focus other than when he's screwing up. So yeah, really cool movie. I know you've probably watched it a ton of times, Andy. Have you seen this before, Noel? Not really sure.
Actually, yeah, yeah. So I saw that with Lou Diamond Phillips, right? I think
Yeah,
hmm
this
yeah.
was probably saw it like 10 years ago. It's been a minute, but I actually saw a clip of it recently on YouTube and it kind of refreshed my memory. It's a good movie though, and it got me actually to look into the 50s music and the Big Bopper and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
yeah. That
go ahead.
sorry, real I think today's kid just recognize him from the memes from Bob from that movie.
Right.
The where she tells him she's pregnant, he just drinks and like takes the shot like it's not the first nor my last. And then the screaming, and then uh there's another one I can't it doesn't come, oh, where he's like, I want to see my baby where he's in the door,
Mm,
and the girl's like, get out of here, get out of here. And the other thing that sticks out to my mind, like the mom just blamed him for he couldn't, it wasn't even involved, like somehow it's his fault, right? Like and when he tries to do something like be an artist or some type of animator, and I think the wife or the girlfriend like shitting on him, like, well, how's this gonna pay the bills, like. And I think that was his only like one inspiration, and like, and it just never really worked out in the movie anyway.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's kind of like you mentioned, Andy. Sometimes you get labeled that in a family as to
Yeah,
screw up. And even if you're doing something good or you're not doing anything and you're just kind of neutral on the side, you still get blamed when shit goes wrong. So, Yeah, you do kind of feel for Bob, but he brought a lot of stuff on himself. But really cool movie, and like Noel mentioned, towards the tail end, once they show other artists, the Big Bopper, and stuff like that, really cool to
Bob
see some
Holly.
of
Well,
yeah,
not
Bob
Bob Holly.
Holly,
Buddy Holly. Buddy
Buddy
Holly.
Holly, yeah,
Yeah.
and they passed away in the plane crash. Spoilers. But yeah, pretty cool movie. Watch that. And last thing I want to bring up before we transition over to our article is I watched that Netflix new documentary just came out this year called The Dinosaurs. It's a four-part series by Netflix. My wife is a really huge Jurassic Parks fan. She likes watching all the movies, good or bad. She likes watching them all. And I like watching them as well. It's not that I'm not a dinosaur fan, but I'm not as emphatic as she is. So she saw me kind of scrolling by. I had it on my watch list. I just had not watched it yet with her. And she's just like, "Oh, you want to watch the dinosaurs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've selected it because it looks cool. I like I think it was Discovery. I forgot who did the other one, the My Planets, where they kind of, just talk about the planet. And then they had another one, I think it was called My Life or Life, where it kind of showed the beginnings of life in the world and stuff like that. I kind of like those docu where they just show nature and show, how things came about, at least in a scientific way. And Dinosaurs does the same thing. It kind of starts off, 150 billion years ago or even more. I think it starts off with like 300 billion years ago where like the earth is being formed with all these like volcanic explosions and just the whole earth is just being transformed and becomes a land habitable for creatures and starts off with the reptiles taking over the world and then how slowly the dinosaurs start encroaching on that and taking over. So yeah, the four parts kind of go through these chapters or these milestones of their life. First the beginning of Earth, and then the beginning of the dinosaurs, their triumphant, where they take over the whole world, and then their demise at the very end. Really cool 3D graphics, obviously, because there's no real dinosaurs, Andy.
I seen
And
video recently. They found them.
yeah, I know there's a lot of fake news out there for sure, man. But yeah, this is CGI and it looks pretty good, man. Some of it you can kind of tell really that it's really bad CGI, but for the most part, they blend in all real environments with CG dinosaurs. Looks really cool. Four-part series, so about 4 hours to watch the whole thing. Really interesting. Does any of this stuff really interest you, Andy? Are you into dinosaurs or into these kind of movies?
I'm into dinosaurs because my kid, he likes them. But I like some. When I was a kid, I was into sharks. Not really
Okay.
dinosaurs, but I think with Jurassic Park, when that movie came out, I think it was just like this explosion back into dinosaurs again. And uh, but I've seen enough documentaries. I prefer more uh, historical stuff about Europe and like
Sure.
the old world, like what's going on right now with the conflict with Iran, Persian empires and stuff like that, Roman empires. I like that stuff more.
Yeah, no, for sure. Those are definitely interesting. This doesn't get into any of that post the Ice Age or,
Nah, Neanderthal,
Neanderthals. Yeah, it doesn't go into any of that stuff.
cavemen.
It's just the span of the dinosaurs and it was pretty interesting. Anything catches your interest, Noel, on this?
From time to time, yeah. I haven't really watched anything recently on dinosaurs. I guess maybe the Jurassic Park, the first one I rewatched it, and Lost World, I rewatched that too.
Okay.
But yeah, no, documentaries, it's one of those things that we just kind of had to take their word for it, you know? Everything they're saying, it's like, well, I guess you would know, right? Like you guys are researching this all your life, so hopefully you're not, skewing things in a certain direction on purpose.
A
Well,
hundred percent.
yeah.
Science can be wrong, so
A
don't.
hundred,
People
a
always
hundred
say
percent,
trust the
yeah.
science, but yes, trust it, but it can be wrong. So, and that's been proven a lot over time. I remember we used
Yeah,
to think the Earth was flat, and look at it now. And so, like the whole dinosaur thing, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, we find bones, so obviously, they had to be around. It's just how, like always, the big thing is like, how did all this start? So,
for sure.
we'll
I've
see.
I've seen you guys bring up a good point because I've seen other series like this that they show a whole different avenue, different thought process on how this all put together. Because you're right, you a lot of it is kind of conjecture. It's kind of like what they best guess. So yeah, and then like Andy mentioned, there's a lot of even science that has been proven incorrect in just these last few 10 years, where, after they do more extensive research, they find out what they used to say is incorrect. The food pyramid for what we're supposed to eat, uh, it's basically upside down now from what they used to teach us when we were in school.
Yeah,
So
my wife said that. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
it's totally wacky, which is cool because it does show that science evolves. The more we learn, the more we study. Um, you know, it just continues to grow and continues to change. So nothing is 100% concrete except JC, but everything else, we'll massage it and make it work. But
Absolutely.
but Andy, let's go over into our article of the week. All right, Andy. I found this one from our foxnews.com here. Really interested. I had seen this actually on the news when it first came out towards the end of February. And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, that seems pretty interested. And then when I started looking for an article for this week, I ran across it again, just searching for interesting stuff. And yeah, this one comes out from Fox News. It says Atlanta area police blast parents over vodka martini packed in school lunch. And then they say this is not apple juice. So yes, this is in Atlanta-based police department. They blast the parents of these kids that they packed their lunch and threw in one of those, which are actually pretty good. I don't know if you've ever had those, Andy, but those Cutwater martinis where it's like
No.
pre-mixed and there's different flavors. This one here from the screen capture, it's a lemon drop martini, but they have different ones. Um, some of them are really good. Sometimes I buy them for Alana. Uh, but yes, this family packed it. To be honest, they blame it on the parents, but it probably was the dad. If I had a venture, I guess, where the wife is like, "I'm sick, I'm busy, I got a this and the other. Hey, hubby, go pack the kids' lunch," and he just grabs it and throws it in there. I would hope he would know better, but I could kind of see a dad doing this. The article doesn't really give too many details. This stuff had just happened a week or so ago, and it doesn't look like there's been any formal charges to the parents. It's kind of being seen as it was just an accident and not on purpose. But it did get me thinking about bringing lunches and packing lunches for my kid. I never really had lunches packed for me, even at a young age. I think I always ate whatever the school was offering or whatever they gave me. I eat lunch now as an adult for work. My wife packs me a lunch for that, but yeah, I've never been packed an alcoholic beverage for work lunch. Uh, but yeah, just opening it up to you guys. Is this something you could even think would ever happen? It's kind of outrageous and kind of crazy, but I could picture it definitely, especially if there was some chaos going on in the household. Any thoughts on the article?
I mean, yeah, I'm a little surprised that that happened. Honestly, it just doesn't seem like it'd be something that I could mistake if I was packing my son's lunch, my daughter's lunch. Um, but like you said, there could have been some chaos that day. Who knows what's going on? So yeah, it's just crazy that that happened. But I feel for the kid because he probably didn't want all that like attention, and I'm sure the cops talked to him and had him set aside, wait for his parents and all that. Just the whole interaction probably, yeah, it probably ruined his day, and now he's gonna have this like persona at school. People are gonna be like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy's parents? Just freaking, what kind of shit's going on in your house, dude?"
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. It's got to be that, or maybe even it was the kid where the mom is just like, "Hey, go grab a drink out of the pantry," and maybe the drink was just sitting there on the pantry shelf, and he just grabbed it, not thinking that, hey, this is an alcohol beverage. You're the one with the young kid, Andy. Do you guys pack lunches? I think he's still in preschool right now, right? So probably not.
Nah, I mean, but I just don't understand. My only thing I read in the article, how did the school find out? It doesn't really say, right? Not that I've read. How did they know? And then who took a picture? Somebody had to say something, and then um, it's just like a one-time thing. They didn't really say that. They just said this is not apple juice or something. I think what caught them off guard maybe was because it was a can. Maybe they thought it was like an energy drink or something, and they're like, "What are you drinking? Or what is this?" And then that's how they got caught up. But I mean, yeah, I'm thinking maybe to me it sounds like it was like they were in a rush, and then they just threw something in there that looks similar because there's stuff that cans now that look similar and it could be alcoholic, especially now there's all sorts of cocktail mixes and like carbonated and the Celsius, man. I'm thinking there was a Celsius or something, that type of juice
Hmm.
that looks kind of like a White Claw and all that other stuff. So, um, but I mean, I saw the picture of the lunch. It looked like a good lunch to me. I mean, but and the other thing, they didn't really specify an age, right? Or was it? I'm guessing. I mean, it had to be elementary school, not high school.
That's what I'm guessing. I think it. My son's in high school, and I think he would know the difference if I asked him to pack a lunch and grab something. Um, he would take lunch a little bit during his grade school, but now he just eats lunch in high school, whatever they're serving there in the cafeteria. But yeah, I could definitely see a younger kid confusing this. But no, I think a teenager would definitely know that this is alcohol. The thing that's kind of crazy is I'm surprised the kid didn't even get a chance to drink it. I think with the commotion of having lunch and just grabbing your
Yeah.
stuff and just start opening stuff, I think he would have popped it and took a sip and been like, "Oh, this tastes weird," and then maybe that would have brought the conversation. But from the picture, it looks like it's still in the package, so somebody
Yeah.
saw it.
Like it's like an open lunch bag and someone
Right.
snapped a picture. So that's my whole thing. How did they know? Like, was it just like a random hall monitor, lunchroom monitor? Like, oh, what are you eating there? So, and then the other thing too is in there's videos of kids, I think in high school, they're like flipping, they're selling like snacks like Takis and Cheetos, and
Yeah.
there's a kid I saw he's selling burritos. And dudes just kids walking up to him and just buying burritos at $5 a pop, and I was just like, "Oh, that's insane, dude! Like, what's up with that?" So, I mean, that was interesting too. So I don't know. My only thing is, how did he get caught? That's the only thing I'm intrigued in this article. And then what happened? Was there a punishment? Did the people get a pass? Whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's got to be that it. He must maybe he couldn't even open the can, so he asked for the teacher. He's just like, "Hey, can somebody help me open this can?" Maybe he was like, 6, 7 years
Like at a
old or
bar,
something.
they got like a
Or
can
plot
opener or
twist,
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
or or plot twist, he always gets buzzed at lunch, and this is the first time he got caught.
Maybe. Yeah,
There
dude,
you
that's what I'm
go.
saying. Like, someone had to be keep an eye on this kid. Somebody like I smell liquor on this kid. What's he doing? You know?
Right.
So that, I mean, it had to be something like that. Not to make light of it, but
It's like, why is Timmy always sleeping after lunch? It's like, what's going on?
Or maybe
yeah,
he's trading it around and maybe he's using it as a bargaining chip, kind of like when you have Cheetos and
or
everybody
he's
wants the
trading
Cheeto
it.
or something
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
trading it to other kids.
So look
Yeah,
what I
maybe.
expect from my dad's basement bar here.
But I think
So
at that point you're talking about teenage kids. getting
Yeah,
that
exactly.
nefarious and smart. I don't think a 6 or 7 year old would know any better.
I don't know, man. Kids have access to so much information, so who knows? Like I said, the kids selling like chips and burritos and tortas. I'm just like, this is insane, dude. Like, who's making them all this? His mom, and then like, I was thinking like, what's his margins on all that? But he must be making a killing.
Well, Junior tells me all the time that kids do trade stuff. Like I'll give him these like caramel spoon things that they sell at the Mexican grocery stores. And he was like, yeah, if I take a few of these, I can trade it for other things that I like, because they're always all trying to look to see what they can trade amongst
Duvalines,
each. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a just a
pink and
plastic spoon.
caramel.
I don't remember it being colors. I just remember it being a plastic spoon, and then just the spoon is full with like caramel, like a like
Oh
a
no, yeah,
like
that
a
ain't no
caramel thing.
Duvalin. No, I thought the
Yeah.
spoon you dip it into like a pudding thing and then you just, but it's
Oh, right.
Duvalines. It's usually like caramel or chocolate and like some pink frosting. You
I
swirl, yeah,
Yeah, I think I've seen those. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, but these are like individually wrapped spoons
Ah,
with like
okay,
a like caramel filled stuff. So
okay.
yeah, there's always currency, man. Just like prison with cigarettes.
They don't want smokes. They want candy and junk food.
Uh-huh, for sure, man.
Yeah, man. Now you got to be careful these days. You never know. And the thing is, too, you never know if somebody else's kid is bringing that beer and trying to, trade it
Hmm.
with your kid. So it's
Mm.
got to be vigilant out there. But I think that does wrap things up for today here. We want to thank you all for joining us in the Freeform Network. If you're not already, you can follow us on X at FFR Podcast. And if you have any questions or suggestions, you can send that to the email address ffnquestions@gmail.com. From Freeform Radio, my name is Noel, and we have Daniel.
Yes, sir, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I kind of ate a late breakfast because of the whole time zone thing. I usually eat breakfast like 5, 6 ish, and I actually ate it like 7:30 today. So I'm not even really that hungry. I don't know what I'm gonna do for lunch. I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah, thanks for listening.
And we got Andy here.
It's all good, Andy. We want to thank you guys for listening. Hit us up. Are you having liquid lunches at your job? You're packing at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Most definitely. Well, we wish you a great night and a beautiful tomorrow.
That was cool, Dad.